Hi everybody, this is Jay Crater. I want to thank you for joining me today for this short video on raising your energy. 7 things that you can start doing right now to raise your energy, to heighten your consciousness. So what does it mean to raise your energy? Let me start right there. So when somebody walks into a room, you'll notice some people when they walk into a room, everyone kind of notices, the room kind of changes. That's an example of a high energy person. Other people, they can walk into a room, they could jump up and down, they could start doing a dance, and you wouldn't even notice them. And it's an example of low energy. So high energy is in demand. High energy is highly valued, and if you can learn how to raise your energy and then learn how to charge people money for the experience of your energy, whether it's through products that you make or education that you give or live events that you do, raising your energy is a key to that. So learning how to raise your energy can serve you in a whole lot of different ways, and that's the reason to do it. The other thing I want to say is that as you raise your energy, you'll find that your experience of life will improve. You'll start to see more things, you'll become aware of more things, and there'll be more synchronicity in your life, more magic in your life. Things just start to kind of become connected, and it's a really beautiful thing. So I applaud you for jumping into this. First thing I want to talk about, number one, you need to learn how to breathe. Now, this may seem like the most obvious thing, but most people don't know how to breathe properly. So we're going to kind of exaggerate it at first so that you can really get a sense of a full deep breath. So I want you to kind of imagine, to take a deep breath, that your feet are kind of anchored in the ground and that you have roots that kind of go into the earth, okay? And I kind of want you to put your feet about shoulder width apart, kind of straighten out your feet so they're parallel, and just kind of feel yourself on the ground. Feel yourself on the ground. And what I want you to do is take a deep breath and kind of pull the air from the ground all the way through your legs, up through your root, okay, which is kind of your groin area. Fill that with air, fill your stomach with air, and then fill your lungs with air, okay? And breathe in. What I want you to do is breathe in through your nose so that you get clean, pure air, and then we're going to breathe out through our mouth. So again, there's like 3 sections of your body that you want to fill with air. Your groin, your stomach, and then your chest. Most people, when they breathe very shallow. And it's just going into their stomach, and they're not getting a full breath. They're not getting enough oxygen in their system to be at optimum capacity. So go ahead, I'm just going to take a big deep breath and just let it out. So try that again. Again, just imagine, see it coming up through the earth, through your legs, into your groin, your stomach, and then into your chest. So let's do another one. And if you feel a little lightheaded, that's because you're not used to taking full deep breaths. This is another benefit of meditation, which takes us to our second key thing that you can do is learn how to meditate. Because when you learn how to meditate, there's really no learning to do it. You just sit down, you close your eyes, and boom, you're meditating. What people need to understand is that when you meditate, there's no goal, okay? So if you meditate, and I think the reason a lot of people quit is they expect to reach some kind of state of nirvana, and everything's going to, the skies are going to part, and everything's going to be beautiful. And in truth, you're really challenging your ego every time that you sit down to meditate, because your ego wants to be talking, telling you what to do. And you're basically saying, I'm just going to be still. And initially when you sit down and start to meditate and you try and be still, your mind does not want to be still. So you just got to let it do its thing. And it kind of spins out. And eventually, and for me it takes about 5 minutes, it'll finally just kind of go, oh, okay. Then things start to get a lot more still. And in the process of meditating, to bring you always back to the present moment, you can focus on your breath. Okay? So when you focus on your breath, same way, you just want to bring the air in and out. That kind of always brings you into the present moment. So what have we got so far? Taking nice deep breaths and meditating. So I recommend meditating daily, at least Monday through Friday, if that's kind of your schedule. And spend at least 10 minutes, preferably 20 minutes, and if you can do 30 minutes, great. I mean, some people meditate like an hour a day. I don't have time to do that much meditation, but at least 10 minutes and preferably 20 minutes. Just sit down. You can do it anywhere where it's quiet, be still, and just observe what happens. Just start to learn the dynamics of your mind, and just be still, and eventually it gets quiet. And I notice that I have a lot of great ideas during meditation, and I always feel lighter, and my experience of life expands. Third thing, surround yourself with like-minded individuals. So you will find the level of your energy is going to be about the same as the 5 people that you hang out with the most. So if you're hanging out with dead energy people, energy vampires, as I call them, who are just sucking you dry, you need to stop that, because they will suck you dry and your energy level will end up the same as theirs. Who do you aspire to be, and start hanging out with those people. It's sort of like when I used to play tennis. When I played somebody good, when I played the number 1 player, my game elevated, and I got maybe not as good as him, but close. Whereas if I played somebody that I beat every time, my game wasn't as good. So you really need to write down who are the 5 people that you want to spend more time with, and who are the people you're spending your time with now, and how many of them are going to make the cut. Okay, it sounds a little harsh, but it's your life, and if you want to be kept dragged into the mire, and you've got people that do that to you, why, you got to ask yourself why you would choose that. So look at, who do you want to be hanging out with? Whose energy do you respect? Whose life do you aspire to emulate? Those are people I suggest you choose to hang out with. And some people that you want to hang out with, maybe not alive, but you may want to read their books. So a lot of people accomplish this by listening to motivational materials of some of the greats, some of the great motivational speakers, some of the great sages and mystics. I love to read the books of Thoreau and Whitman, Jed McKenna, Stuart Wilde, Adida, Osho. I mean, these are my heroes. And for you, I don't know who they are, but start to get them into your life, and you'll notice your energy will start to rise. So those are our first 3. Let's go on to number 4. Okay, this is really important. Most people are spending way too much time watching TV and playing with their cell phones and their computers and their internet. It's an energy drag. It really is. The more you can be out, active, doing your thing in life, the better, and the more you're going to raise your energy. If you're spending a lot of time on your cell phone, you're spending a lot of time watching TV, what you need to do is make a plan. Here's my plan. I watch 2 programs. I have 2 main programs that I'll watch. Right now it's Breaking Bad and Charlie Rose. Those are the 2 programs that I like to watch the most, with an occasional bit of Conan. But that's it. It's so easy to sit in front of the TV and have hours and hours of your life just dribbled away watching crap that you never even intended to watch. The same goes with your cell phone. There's like a time to use it, and then there's a time to put it down. And what I'm recommending is that you look at your habits around your technology and make a serious commitment to reduce the amount of time you spend watching TV, reduce the amount of time you spend on your computer, and reduce the amount of time you spend on your cell phone. They're useful tools. TV is wonderful entertainment, but you got to look at how it's affecting your energy. And in most cases, it's sapping your energy. To go from one extreme to another, if you look at somebody who never watches TV, you'll see a tremendous amount of aliveness. And if you look at somebody who watches TV, 5, 6, 7 hours a day, they're just couch potatoes, energy of a slug. Okay, and the choice is yours. Number 5, get 8 hours of sleep. Now this may seem like an obvious thing. Most people don't. In this world that we live in, it's pretty crazy. There's a lot to do, And it's so easy to try and get 6 hours of sleep and think you're functioning at 100%. Study after study after study shows that by not getting a full 8 hours of sleep, you're kind of actually behaving as if you're a little loopy or drunk. Okay? You need to get the 8 hours of sleep for your body to function at 100%. For me, this took a major commitment because I was go to bed at midnight, get up at 6. And then it was going to bed at midnight and getting up at 5. And that was kind of like, and I took pride in it. I thought, wow, this is great. I'm a real stud, you know. I'm sleeping 5 hours. Look at me. And what it came down to is I needed to go to bed at 9 o'clock and to get up at 5 o'clock. And by doing this, I would wake up refreshed and I didn't have to have coffee. Instead, I had some water and some tea, and I felt real good, ready to go. So there's a real beautiful sensation that happens when you start to actually your body allows you to have 8 hours of sleep. It's not as easy as it sounds. It's not just a matter of carving out the time. My body was used to getting 6, and I had to use some techniques to be able to sleep 8 hours. So I'm going to share one technique with you that helped a lot. A lot of people have a problem sleeping. I know a lot of my male friends, their minds are just racing at night, and they don't get much sleep. And they're just thinking about work and relationship and money and relationship and work, and those are usually the things that men are thinking about. So here's a little technique. First one is, here's a few things you can do. Turn off the technology, so shut down the computer at least an hour before you go to bed. If you like to read some fiction, not nonfiction. And then this is a really useful technique. In your mind, before you go to bed, play your day backwards in your mind. So for example, if I were to do this, I would say, okay, think to myself, okay, I just did a little bit of light reading. Before that, I had my dinner. Before that, I was working. I had 4 sales calls. Before that, I did my exercise. Before that, I had breakfast. Before that, I woke up and I did some writing on my computer. And that was playing my day backwards like that. And it's almost magic, but that will calm you down and that will release the day so that when you're sleeping, you won't have to play all those incidences in your head over and over again. Really works, so give that a try. So it's a little something extra there. It's a wonderful technique. We're down to number 6. This one is real important to raising your energy, and that is engage in a challenge. I recommend engaging in a challenge. Now, why do you need to engage in a challenge? Because when you challenge yourself, you're putting yourself at your edge, and that's where you're going to be most alive, and that's when your energy is going to be the most pristine. Because you're not just comfortable, you're making uncomfortable your home, and that's the place where you want to be. That's the place where you're going to be the most alive. That's where life is going to be the most rich. It's going to have texture to it. So a challenge could be, in the next 90 days, I want to lose 30 pounds. Okay, that's a challenge I'm actually in right now. Could be, in 30 days, I want to have a website up and be blogging. It could be, in 90 days, to take a trip to Morocco. Okay, that's another one of mine. So find a challenge that works for you and then pursue it. Okay, so let's go to the 7th item. 7th item is you need to strengthen your body. You'll find that a strong body can take on more energy than a weak body. It's as simple as that. Now, I'm not a physical expert. I'm not a nutrition expert, but I've learned enough to get by. I suggest on Facebook, on the internet, there's loads of people who are experts on what's the best thing to put into your body, what's the best way to exercise, things like that. I'm just going to share 3 things that have really worked for me. First one is obviously get to my ideal weight, right? I told you I recently was 30 pounds heavier than I thought than my ideal weight, and that's part of my challenge right now, and I'm down to 206, so I've got 6 pounds to go, and I'll be at my ideal weight of 200. When I was at 230, I felt fat, I felt old, My mind wasn't as clear, and I just felt slow. And when I feel slow, my energy's slow, and that's not the life I choose to live. So find your ideal weight, determine your ideal weight, and then create whatever plan you need to create. Set up the structure that you need to support you, and just get to it. You don't have to do it fast. You don't have to do it within 2 weeks. There's no rush. I understand that's the healthiest if you lose 1 to 2 pounds a week, and I think that's a really admirable goal. So get to your ideal weight. Second thing I found really useful for my energy is drinking a lot more water than I was drinking. Now, I used to think I drank a lot of water, and I would maybe drink one of those thin smart water bottles a day, and now I drink the equivalent of 3 or 4 of those a day. So yeah, I go to the bathroom a little bit more than I used to, but the cleansing of my body is also the cleansing of my energy. So drink way more water than you probably think you need, and that'll support kind of a detox, kind of a purification for your energy. And then the last thing, again, this is really obvious, and I'm not an expert, but I find that if I exercise, that makes my whole day show up a little bit different. So I like to get my exercise done in the morning. I think I do 3 days a week. I do pretty intense aerobics for like an hour, and I really burn off a lot of calories. And then 3 days a week, I do more, resistance kind of stuff, so I can build my muscles a little bit. So 3 days of aerobic and 3 days. And again, consult with an expert. I'm not an expert. I'm just sharing with you what works for me. What I do know is that by strengthening your body, you will have the capacity to have higher energy than you currently have. So a strong body supports as the vessel that holds the energy. So if you make it strong, great. Now, I'm giving you a bonus here. Here we go. Number 8. Okay, this is the last thing, because I realized this last part was very key. And that's the importance of developing strong daily habits. Okay, so we've covered 7 things that you can start to incorporate into your daily life. What you need now to do is get out a piece of paper and schedule these things so that they fit into your daily life. When can you spend 10 to 15 to 20 minutes meditating? When can you exercise, right? Of course, breathing is something you're going to be doing all the time. So just keep being conscious of that. Getting all that air in your lungs. And all the things that we talked about. How can you incorporate them? Of course, you're going to have a lot more free time because you're watching less TV. So you can incorporate that into your schedule. The important thing is that every single day you're doing the things to accomplish your goals. I'm going to read a really great quote from one of my heroes, someone I really respect. I wish I would have met him, David Thoreau. Hold on 1 second. Right here? Okay. Great quote. As a single footstep will not make a path on the earth, so a single thought will not make a pathway in the mind. To make a deep physical path, we walk again and again. To make a deep mental path, we must think over and over the kind of thoughts we wish to dominate our lives. And that's Henry David Thoreau. So what he's basically saying there is that if you want to accomplish these things, you don't just think about it once and it's going to happen. Okay, it's that constant every single day. It's like the drop of water that falls on top of the stone. Eventually that water puts a hole through that stone because it's constant and consistent, and it starts to make a groove, it starts to make a pattern. And that's what you need to do in order to accomplish what you're out to accomplish in this lifetime. So make your plan, stick to your plan. So here I'm going to show you a list here of the 8 things that you can do to raise your energy. And while you're seeing this, I want to thank you for spending the time with me. If you're a man and you're looking for a challenge, we actually have the NFB Men's Group, which is an actual 90-day forum for men to participate in challenges in their life. So each week we get together on the phone for a 90-minute conference call. There's a bunch of guys. We support each other. We focus on specific topics. There's a curriculum, there's assignments, all designed to help you to achieve what it is that you want to achieve in your life. So if you're interested in that, it's less than $100 a month. Great value. Check it out on the website, the NFB Men's Group. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. I really hope you enjoy the blogs that are coming your way and the new content that I'll be delivering. And I'll see you around the playground. Bye-bye.